Joburg is running dry. From 30 June to 2 July, taps across the city were shut off. Rand Water had scheduled a critical maintenance on its key infrastructure. But for 5 million people, it was not just a notice. It meant days without water. Areas like Soweto, Midrand, Randburg, Marlborough, and Joburg Central all experienced outages or reduced water pressure. To keep the city going, the city turned to water tankers. For that, it had last year awarded a 263 million rand contract to two obscure companies, Newtonox and BuildPro Construction. Newtonox would cover the south and BuildPro the north. The survival of South Africa's biggest city was left in the hands of two guys in their 20s. But when Amabungane visited Newtonox listed headquarters last year, a luxury estate in Midrand, there was no sign of any water tanker business. Security guards and leasing agents had never heard of them. BuildPro was not any different. Neither company operated from the addresses they claimed. On paper, they were competitors. In practice, they were connected. What we've discovered is that Sibuyile Maginga of Newtonox and Emmanuel Serifusa of BuildPro co-run another company, M&S Traffic Services. One is the CEO and the other COO. So how did they end up competing for the tender and winning the same tender? In February 2025, Amabungane sent questions to Joburg Water pointing to a potential conflict in the tender process. Joburg Water said it would investigate, but 4 months later, no findings have been released and the tankers keep rolling. While Joburg residents were getting ready to queue with buckets, Maginga of Newtonox was wining and dining in Paris. Amabungane uncovered that Maginga was invited to attend the South Africa-France Investment Conference in Paris. He wasn't on any official delegate list, but Maginga posted a video on Instagram seemingly showing him walking just steps behind Deputy President Paul Mashatile and his entourage. With him on the trip, Lesedi Phala, a former Miss SA contestant, influencer, and reportedly the niece of South Africa's ambassador to France, former Minister Nathi Mthethwa. Together they attended the embassy's reception, posed at gala dinners, and were later seen at the Monaco Grand Prix. The government didn't pay for their trip, but the invite did open doors to some pretty exclusive spaces. But when we asked who invited them, the answers weren't exactly clear. The Deputy President's office first issued a statement worded as if it's from DECO, saying their presence aligned with the goals of the conference. But when asked to confirm, DECO disowned the response. The embassy finally admitted that Maginga and Phala contacted them directly and were invited via an open and inclusive process. Yet Amabungane couldn't find any record of that process. No call-out from DECO, no invitation from the DTIC, and no statement from the embassy. The only application process that really mattered, it was seemingly knowing whom to call and when. Meanwhile, back in Joburg, the city says its investigation into the 263 million rand water tanker tender is still underway, and it has asked the public protector to investigate as well. Here's what we know. Maginga and Serifusa are business partners in another company. They both used local addresses in Joburg to help them win the tender. But when we went there, we found no sign of their thriving water tanker business. Yet they were awarded a contract estimated to be worth 263 million rand. While Joburg residents lined up for water, those tapped to supply it were moving in very different circles. Buckets at home, business class abroad. You can read both our investigations at amabungane.org. Amabungane, digging dung, fertilizing democracy.